Action.
Welcome to Off Camera, the UC Film Society radio show all about movies. I'm Ollie.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Cam.
And we'll be your directors for this episode. This week on Off Camera, we'll be joined by Ben Yeo, where we'll get to learn a great deal about him and his experience with directing. We'll tell you what we've been watching recently and what's happening in the world of film at the moment. Welcome, Ben.
Good morning.
How have we all been lately?
So good. Finished assignments. Been watching a lot of movies, playing a lot of video games. It's good.
A lot more time to chillax, yeah.
Yep, this is our first normal episode back after our Killers of the Flower Moon episode.
Big stuff.
And
Big
Halloween.
Stuff. And
Well, for us it'll be Halloween. For you guys,
we are recording this on the 2nd of November, but it will be going out right at the end of November. So, yeah, most recently we did the Halloween episode, but Killers of the Flower Moon is the most recent episode that has released. Very big episode for us. Very big episode for this movie, which, if you want to hear more about it, go and listen to that one. But today we're joined by Ben Yeo. Ben, you're a second-year film student here at UC.
I am a second-year film student at UC.
You are an aspiring director?
I think so.
You think so? Fair enough. That's all we know at this point.
Screenwriter? Well, you don't really know.
Slash musician.
Oh, yeah. Actually, to be fair, you have made like some very nice scores for the past couple of movies.
The music in Water Baby.
I don't make
unreal.
music, but I think I like music as much as film.
Okay.
But they're like the same thing.
Yeah. Well, sound is half the picture usually.
They're
Unless
very
you're in
linked,
the
I feel.
1920s.
And the way they flow together, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very important aspect of the medium.
And poetry. I love poetry.
Poetry is good.
Diverse man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to talk a bit about some of your recent directing gigs? I guess some of the recent things you've done, or maybe working on.
Well, working on that's. I won't go there. But I guess we made two things that I'm proud of. I've made a lot of little things, but they're kind of. I feel like they're just exercises in a way. You think they're a good idea in the moment, but 2 weeks later you look at them and you go, that was like a, momentary brain lapse.
Just need to get something out, yeah.
Yeah, get something out. But the film that we just made for our final second-year assignment, I'm proud of my work on that one. That was a film that the first time I've directed something that I haven't written or really had anything to do with the concept of the story. So that was an exciting experience because when I make films, I often think from just like a visual perspective and I don't think about dialogue or characters as much. So it was kind of cool to take someone's own idea of dialogue and characters, which kind of turned out to be difficult in ways, but good in other ways because, you can try to find other people's perspectives. But I also enjoyed adapting someone else's story to my own kind of sensibility. I'm not sure if that's the right word. Style, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely made it your own, I feel.
Yeah.
When watching it, I was like, this feels very Ben,
Yeah,
even though
but
you didn't write it.
Yeah, exactly. But I can't see any other way of doing something like that. Like when I saw the script, I saw like there was a lot in the script that I saw that I can relate, like that I could feel coming from the script. And I just try to kind of like simplify that down to like the essence of the script. I try to create that instead of like adapting the script one-to-one because I feel like that's a hard thing to do. I don't know, unless you're like in a room, a whole film in a room, you can't really adapt a script one-to-one because I don't know, cinema's just visual. So I don't know, you can tell so much just with the camera. So when you're on set, I don't know, you just see different ways of saying something with the image instead of dialogue or whatnot. And the other thing that I've made that I'm proud of, the only ones I talk about, is a film called Restless. I always call it just tree film because it's about a tree, which I'm happy with. I think mostly because I made a film about a tree that makes sense. I remember I was talking to Cameron one day, and we were looking at the trees, and I was like, it'd be cool to make a tree, just a film just about the trees. But then I was like, who would do that? And then I was like, wait, I literally did that. And
Yeah,
it
that
worked.
was
that
you were
was such a
saying that-
funny moment
You were
because I
saying
completely
that
forgot.
after you'd made
Like
Restless.
Yeah.
6 months after I made it, I
That's
was like,
awesome.
who would make a film just about trees? And I was like,
I think this
I already
is
did that. What the hell?
there's one shot in Run where we're looking up at the trees in the forest, and I think you're off in the background. If you look at just the raw clip, you're off in the background. You can be heard saying, "Why are you taking shots of trees? That's dumb. Why would someone make a film about trees?" And
I was
then
probably taking
there
the
was like a
piss,
moment of
honestly.
realization. You went, "Oh," and then the clip cuts out.
That's good.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's a good film.
I
We
love that
screened it. We recently screened it at, not recently, it was a while ago.
Our short film screen.
Yeah, at our short film screening, and I believe it'll be at the UC Film Festival
Sure. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
on the 8th of December,
Yeah.
which we're gonna keep plugging.
Yeah. Yeah. I just submitted it to a few, like, kind of, I'm not sure, the international
Oh, nice.
festivals the other day.
Oh, cool.
mhm.
I don't know. I hope they get in. I don't know.
It's always a hope.
But yeah, I'm not sure if I prefer that kind of, because it's very different to the short film we made. Just like it's no narrative
Mm.
at all. Well, I don't know. I feel like there's a narrative in there, but you kind of got to find it for yourself. Doesn't really present itself to you. But I'm not sure if I like that kind of filmmaking or, yeah, that more kind of experimental type of filmmaking. But I don't know. I guess you can work with both of them. But I find that very liberating in a sense because, I don't know, you don't really have to be logical. You can kind of just appeal more to emotion, especially with sound and image, and just try to create a feeling that the audience can feel. I guess,
Resonate with?
yeah, not even like, yeah, give them like a meaning, because I think I originally had like a meaning when I came into making it, but very quickly when I've shown it to people, everyone's had a completely different perception of what it's about. So then I'm like, who am I to say what it's about? Because I think I even forgot at this point. Anyway,
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Though, if you have an idea, it's better to just make it. Then it doesn't have to be good. You don't have to show anybody, but it's you make it, and then you can get you can get feedback from it. And
yeah,
just like even just your own feedback of like,
Yeah.
okay, this didn't work really well, but this did, so I can apply that to my next film that I'm getting marked on or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I think practice makes perfect. That's like a basic saying, but it's definitely true. And never
Yeah.
know until you try.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Ben, do you want to tell us? Do you have a favorite director? Just-
I could name like 4.
Okay.
I'd say Tarkovsky's my favorite. I've watched all these movies like 5 times each. Claire Denis, she's someone that just, I don't know, it's like you feel the frame, and it's just a beautiful thing to experience. Wong Kar-wai,
Yeah. So
he's
good.
great. In the Mood for Love is like one of the best. When people ask me what movie they should watch, and they, haven't watched things that are maybe more hard or difficult to get into, I always tell them to watch In the Mood for Love.
That's a good gateway.
Yeah, I think so, because it's a story that is familiar, but it's just like, it's made in such a, I don't know, I just say a profound way that, yeah, it's again not like a logical thing. You just feel whatever the film's trying to
Yeah.
make you feel.
I don't want to say it's been copied a lot, but you could feel a lot of it in like modern romance films.
Yeah,
Any
well, I
romance
don't think
film.
I watch modern romance films, but I
Yeah.
if you watch that, I think it'd be hard to not be
I meant
influenced
more
by
like,
it.
I don't know, like Before Sunrise a little bit. Like you could feel the blueprint of. Oh wait, Before Sunrise.
Before
Before that.
You didn't watch the romance film.
But they're-
with,
but- Okay, they're both love
Mark
stories,
Hamill.
but they're filmed completely differently.
I know, but you could just
Like
I
I
don't know.
think in the Mood for Love focuses on not what they're saying, which
Right.
is what the Before
That's
Sunrise
true.
does,
Yeah.
but like their look and their feel and their body language.
Right. Yeah. True.
I guess that's why it slows down those moments. Like there's like, it's like full of slow motion. It slows down all like the most impactful moments that they have,
I don't know.
and just, I don't know, so you can like feel the tension between the characters.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. I think In the Mood for Love is very influential in many ways.
Oh yeah, I'd say so. It influenced me probably.
And what is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie, it probably changes every day. The last movie I saw, which I thought was amazing, was a movie called Cold War. It's not really about the Cold War. It's set in the Cold War, but it's a Polish film, and I don't know, there's something about it. The story is, I don't know, it's not like it's not a very unique. I don't think it's a very unique story. It's a very cool story. Like it's like a love story. But just the way that it's filmed is just, yeah, I don't know. It's just one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And he has the same director has another film called Ida, which is like just as good. And I think he's one of like the like new directors that make incredibly cool things that are like still, pushing even though it's a very formal, like it uses very formal cinema language, just like it's like the rhythm of the film is just like something I haven't really felt before. But my favorite film, I'd say, would probably be Mirror, which is one by Tarkovsky, or another one I watched recently, which was like one of the first things that made me fall in love with movies, was A Taste of Cherry, which is like an Iranian film by Abbas Kiarostami is his name. And it's just, yeah, it's like, I think that movie's like kind of half philosophy, but it's obviously very tied to cinema and like seeing an image and being a person and purpose, and I don't know, it's just, I cry every time I watch it.
Something's impactful if you not only cry when you watch it for the first time, but you cry every single time you see it.
And yeah, especially when like every time you watch it, especially if there's like a year between you watching it, you're in, like, especially when I feel like we are at the moment, like a year is a long, like you grow a lot in a year. So when you take your new experiences and you get something new out of it. That's like, I always say this about Eyes Wide Shut by Stanley Kubrick. Every time I watch it, I get something completely different out of, like,
adore that film so much.
Obviously, like I guess just like sex in the in that point, like, because I guess every time I watch it, I have a new perspective on what sex is, and then that film seems to, I don't know, always just make me question what I'm thinking at the time, and I always get different things out of it.
I watch it. I agree. I watch it so differently though. It's really funny. Every time I watch it, I can't help but think about Cruise and Kidman in real life making that film, being married, making that film. I don't know. I think it enhances the film and makes it even better because it's so crazy to think about them
and
filming that.
I feel like it makes it I don't know. I just think that I guess Tom Cruise is just such a weird guy.
So weird. but
it makes me kind of laugh at him because I feel like he could be that kind of insecure person
for sure life. And it's just like, oh my God, and you read about the stories about like what Kubrick did to them on that set.
Yeah,
like putting them in a room, making them watch each other film these crazy scenes. Kubrick was a madman
to like build like the jealousy and the envy between them. Yeah,
didn't he also want people to not talk about his movies after they've seen them? So there's a couple things around Kubrick, like he would add scenes into movies just to negotiate the rating of them.
That's probably true.
He'd add in like these horrific scenes, and then when he'd go to the ratings board, they'd be like, okay, this is going to be this rating. And be like, actually, hang on, if I take out these scenes.
Ones he didn't actually want in the movie.
Yeah,
he
just put it in.
It's pretty smart.
Why would he put scenes in that he didn't
want? I feel like
then he can get the rating down.
Yeah,
he can negotiate. I think.
Oh, like
and then it can be shown on
like the
TV,
like the age rating.
Yeah, like G, PG, M.
Yeah.
So like he'd put in something that would make it R.
Yeah, just to make
it. But he wants it to be MA.
Yeah.
He'd put in something that makes it R, because if he didn't put that in and he went to them, they'd say they might say this is going to be R.
Mm-hmm.
But if he puts that super horrific thing in, goes to them, they say it's R. He says, okay, I'll take these out. They say, okay, now it's MA. Even though really it would still be R.
Oh, okay. So like put in like the most explicit, like degenerate scene you could, and then after that the ones don't seem as bad.
Pretty much.
I'd love to see the cut scenes from Eyes Wide Shut. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But he also didn't want people to talk about the movies at all after they'd seen them. He wanted everybody to get their own experience and not be influenced by anyone else. So it was very eccentric as a
So we should shut up.
Director. So yeah, we won't talk anymore as Ghost will come and kill us.
Do you have a favorite actor?
It's okay to say not really.
No. Honestly. But there's actors that I don't know. I think there's actors, I like the films that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say I have an actor where, whatever film they're in, I'm like, that's a good performance. Even though that's probably not true. But I feel like, I guess, acting in that sense, I don't know, I don't think an actor can make a movie good, so I'm not going to enjoy a movie just because there's good acting in it. Like, I can enjoy parts of it, but as a whole. But, yeah, what we said before, Tilda Swinton, she's one of my favorite actors, but that's mostly because the films she's in are so cool. But she also has, but that's like her picking those films.
She's got a presence for sure.
Yeah.
And we will talk more about her in a minute.
Yeah, we can talk more about her. Juliette Binoche is a really cool actor as well. She's in a lot of good movies. She's also in a lot of like Claire Denis movies, which is why I like her.
Mm-hmm. And would you say you have a favorite genre?
No.
No?
Just
you
something.
watch so much.
Just something. Well, I don't know. Genre is such like a loose term. Like I guess if it's like horror, okay, like and it uses horror tropes, then it's like a genre film. But anything else, I don't know. I think it's all just kind of like even a crime film. Like I don't know what is that.
They're
Just
always
people doing crime.
They're
but then
always
that's,
a mix. Like
Yeah.
no film except for maybe a horror film
exactly.
is just one genre.
The best
Yeah.
films blend genre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Or just throw them out the window and just whatever feels right, don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess that's the whole thing, like marketing, and I guess that's genre is a marketing technique. So
But you can
films will try to have those so the audience feels comfortable watching them.
yeah, but
Which
you
is
definitely
sad.
I think you're seeing more commonly now. Trailers have genres, but the movies are less conformed
okay.
to that genre.
Get people in the
There's
cinema.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube channel that re-edits movies into different genres. It's really cool and really well done. Some of them are like very.
I thought you were going to talk
generic.
about honest trailers for a second though.
Oh no, that's just like cinema sins but shorter.
Yeah.
So nowadays, like blockbuster films have to like stick to a genre, right? Like what we're talking about. But
Yeah.
that's why I think Jordan Peele is so important because he's making big blockbuster films that also blend genre. He's being allowed to mix genres into things. Nope is sci-fi, but it's also horror, but it's also kind of a comedy. It's
Yeah.
I respect him a
But
lot.
aren't all horror movies comedic? I don't know. I can't watch, especially like
The Shining
especially like a
has some
trophy.
comedy in it for
That
sure.
that is the most funny movie.
It's so funny.
I'm trying. I guess like maybe not those like
It depends.
like the what is it? I don't know. Like the copy and paste horror stuff. Like the what is it? Like the ones that
Alien,
the
Alien
the
doesn't
Conjuring,
really
and, like
have any
those
comedy
ones.
to me.
Like
but-
Halloween and.
But that's where you get horror and sci-fi.
Exactly.
Or
Yeah,
horror
yeah,
and
yeah.
mystery or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
else.
Mm.
It's still a mix.
Yeah.
No, but even Alien has some like funny interactions between.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you can
yeah.
have moments of
Right,
comedy
right.
without it being a comedy movie.
yeah, true.
In fact, you need that most
Yeah,
of the
for
time
sure.
for some levity.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'd say that it too is a comedy, to be honest. Like it's got
Yes.
the horror elements, but Bill Hader
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just so funny that I can't take it seriously.
I'd think of it as a bit of a comedy for sure.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about what we've been watching recently?
So I was gonna say,
Jake, do you want to go first?
Jake, you go first.
Sure. This week I went to the theater and I saw the new David Fincher film, The Killer. One of my most anticipated films of the year because Fincher is one of my favorite filmmakers.
Is he making a new film?
Yeah.
Isn't
It's
it
out-
releasing straight to Netflix?
It's out on
as well?
Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix November 10th. So
Oh, right,
definitely check
okay.
it out. It's starring Michael Fassbender and Tilda Swinton. Funny enough.
There you go.
It's just a cold, tight, stylish thriller that was just so much fun to watch and has one of my favorite scenes of the year with this just awesome fight scene in the middle. I also watched Spotlight recently, which is this 2015 drama. It won Best Picture. It's about the uncoverings of the Catholic Church and their abuse. And it was pretty dark, but it was very well told. And I also went to the theaters with my girlfriend and saw Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour movie. And I think we'll leave it at that.
I'm sure you have
And?
many, many thoughts.
Come on.
It was
don't-
actually
you-
pretty fun.
Were you
Okay,
Of course it
also
was.
Huh?
dancing around and singing?
Yeah, I like her music. I don't love all of her music. I'm not like a super fan, but like, I'm dating a super fan, so I do. I was kind of drawn
is
by her
rough.
music.
It rubs off.
I'm going to the concert in February. So yeah.
Wow. All right.
Ben, what have you been watching recently?
I had to get up on my phone. I can talk about. There's 3 really good ones I've seen recently. There was Playtime, which is like a film from like the 60s that I saw the other day, which was a very cool like non-narrative. It's like completely. It's just like it's like I don't know. It's comedic, in a very surreal way. I'm not sure if I like it. It was a very cold film, but it's a very like we are in a society kind of movie. I think it's like France in the 60s, so it's a very like anti-bourgeoisie, anti-upper class kind of thing, and it just shows like the decadence of that. But I don't know. It's just it's made really well and it's very funny. What else did I say? Oh, I saw a movie I don't know a couple of weeks ago called Amour, which cemented my belief that I don't want to be old. Because it's about this old couple that are really cute and sweet, and you know when you see a cute old couple and they're like hugging and you're like, wow, that's just beautiful that they're so old and still doing that. But then the woman she has a stroke, and it's just about her slowly deteriorating. And the ending, I won't say what the ending is, but it breaks your heart and it makes you ask a lot of questions about what love is. And it also makes you go, I don't want to do that, because that's not how I want to remember the end of my life, because that is depressing. And this movie called Leviathan, I've been recommending everyone to watch it. It's like an experimental documentary. I don't know what you'd call it. It's these two filmmakers went on a fishing boat in the middle of, I don't know, I think it was off America or something. And they strapped GoPros onto some of the fishing crew and themselves. And it's just them filming this boat and what it does. I think the Leviathan, the name, I can't remember exactly what a Leviathan is, but I think it's something
It's
to do
like
with
a
big
giant
monster.
yeah.
If you've ever played Subnautica,
It's a very fitting
Typically
film.
long.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's just like, it's such a vivid, surreal kind of like representation of this boat, and you feel like you're the boat and you're the, I don't know, and you view, it doesn't really take a perspective. Like obviously there's like environmental aspects obviously to
So
it,
it's-
because it's them like holing fish, but it's not like something that's trying to force a message down your throat.
So it's sort of like a documentary about deep sea fishing, but then it's really unique in the way it presents.
Yeah,
that.
when I say documentary, it's not what you think of, people talking, saying this is this. Like there's no, I don't think there's any conversation. Like I think it's all just image and sound, the whole film. But like it's a documentary in the sense that it's not a constructed narrative. It's not fiction, but that's loose because they would have filmed so much. I think they had like 4 cameras on this boat or something, and they cut it all into like 90 minutes. So
It is
it's kind of fiction
classified
at
as
that
a
point.
documentary.
Yeah,
But
it's-
because that's what I had to specify to find it, to differentiate it from the two
Other
other
Leviathans.
films called Leviathan.
yeah. But it's
That is if I'm looking at the right thing.
yeah, it's just like a very visceral experience, and it's, I don't know, I found it very inspiring. Cameron, what about you?
I've watched a couple things. So the first one, not really a movie, but it was interesting. The recent Apple event, on, I believe it was like 11 o'clock on Tuesday, talking about they released new Macs and whatever. I'm not going to talk about that. That doesn't.
How was the cinematography?
That's what I'm getting onto. It was amazing.
I did see some images from this.
It was absolutely amazing, like most Apple events are. The mix of real life footage and CGI was really well done. But at the end of all the credits, there was a moon, a logo in the shape of the Apple logo in the shape of like with the like moon textures and whatever, and then it faded out to just a white Apple logo, and underneath, text popped up that said, "Filmed on iPhone, edited on Mac." And they shot it on an iPhone 15 Pro using the Blackmagic camera app for anyone who wants to know. This is incredible. Even if you don't care about Apple, you hate them with a passion, watch this event just for the
And you
the
had no
first
idea
5 minutes.
that it would, yeah.
Yeah, and
it
it
was
gives you
filmed.
the idea of these iPhones are now like, these are on par with, I won't say cinema cameras, but with like,
high quality, like personal cameras.
yeah, like entry level DSLRs or video cameras.
And you can
I
just
feel like
whip it out of your pocket.
exactly, and they can shoot log, they can shoot Dolby Vision, HDR, like it's insane. And I think Apple is doing really well with this, and all you need now is like, well, yes, the iPhone 15 Pro is $1,800 starting out, which is insane.
Isn't that how much they normally cost though?
No, they've upped it. So
Yeah,
in
sure.
Australia, they up the price each year, but the US, they keep them the same.
Okay.
It's annoying, and I hate it.
That's ridiculous.
It's probably our dollar.
It is.
Oh yeah, true. It'll be the exchange rate.
That's their
It's getting
excuse
worse
anyway.
and worse every year.
That's their excuse. But it was it's just some of the best cinematography I've seen, and just to know that it was shot on an iPhone I feel like it allows people, like, it gives people new ideas and go, hey, I have an iPhone. I can go and shoot this amazing looking video or something, which is really cool.
That is the idea of having these cinema quality cameras on a phone. I mean, one of the things you hear when you very first start studying film is it's not about the camera. Like, as long as you have some way to record footage, you can make films.
Yeah,
it's a tool.
And embrace your limitations.
Yeah.
And don't try to make a phone like my iPhone 11. I use it to film stuff all the time, and it doesn't look like an iPhone 15 cinema camera. But I try to embrace the difficulties that's in that and just accept them, and not like try to make it look like the cinema camera.
Absolutely. What I did see from that event was that they had an iPhone 15 on a massive crane jib.
So yes, they had.
That's so funny.
If you look at some of the BTS,
and then this big, like the tiny camera attached to this massive crane.
Yes, you have. There's like not very much. It's all you need is $1,800 to film a film, but
$500,000.
They've also got a multi-million-dollar crane and lighting setup. But this shows that it doesn't matter what camera you have. If your lighting is bad, it will look terrible.
Yeah.
But I also watched
Cameron. Before we go, what do you think good cinematography is? I want to know what this is because it's such a subjective thing to me.
It's definitely different to everyone. Julian, who we had on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, would probably say something different. But I'd say it's more.
What did he say?
He said it's good lighting.
Yeah. He said it's good lighting, which is, yes, that is the fundamental.
But what happens if you're outside? So if you're just like outside using natural light, it's just not. Or is that good lighting?
He would say
itself?
you can still control it to some degree.
Yeah. So we did that.
Choosing your time of day, choosing
Run.
what weather there is, using reflectors and like diffusers. Yeah, he would say that it's still partially under your control.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But that's pretty much what it is. It's mostly lighting, but I also like to focus on the one thing you can't really fix in post is focus. If your subject is out of focus or if it's slightly blurry,
that's going to be the next AI tool though.
Yeah, of course it will. I'm sick of AI.
There'll be some camera that'll come out. They'll like take the video at every focal range or something, and you can just like
that would be insane.
Well, fun fact: you can actually do that on iPhone in cinematic mode, and then change the depth of field later.
That's crazy.
What is this?
It's like portrait mode for video, but like every single frame.
Right.
It's really good.
I'm not a cinematographer, but what I would say is good cinematography is no matter how it looks, does it impact the story? And
that was my next point.
I thought
you might say that, but then
there's
you
like a
didn't.
list of things. If it looks, I think visual fidelity is very important. If it doesn't look good, then no one's going to want to watch it. If the cinematography doesn't complement the story or the actions of the actors or whatever's happening on the screen, no one's going to want to watch it. It's going to make you uncomfortable. Doesn't fit.
But you can find beauty in the ugliness.
That's a good quote.
Agreed as well.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, but everyone has their different styles, and it all depends on what you like. But yeah, the fundamental thing is
lighting is most important.
Is the lighting good, and does your cinematography complement?
Is it
the
in
story?
focus as well? Yeah. Okay. What else have you been watching?
I also watched the Netflix series Arcane
For the first time? I still haven't seen it yet.
time. Oh my god! It's not on Letterboxd. I went straight after I finished it last night. I went to look on Letterboxd. It's not there.
Yeah,
I'm
most
annoyed.
TV shows aren't.
It's just Letterboxd is more for movies. So it's on IMDb. I rated it a 10 because of based off the same categories that we used for Killers of the Flower Moon. The voice acting work is incredible. The character models and the quality of the animation and the style is just so unique.
You can still call that cinematography because they have to frame it up. They have to set the lighting, set the animation, and positioning.
I will say the cinematography is also amazing. So that was.
So you're gonna call
I'm
it
putting them
separate.
different categories.
Okay. Interesting.
And then the soundtrack for it is awesome. I was listening to the album on the way over here. It's awesome. The song
Slaps.
choices, it slaps. That's a good way
Is
to
it like
put
a
it.
score or is it like a soundtrack?
It's mostly a soundtrack, but there is a score and it fits really well with it.
Yeah.
But also it just works. Like, yes, they've got Imagine Dragons. Not everybody likes Imagine Dragons, but it's still
no.
a really
Does everybody like Imagine Dragons?
No.
I said not everybody
right,
likes
sorry.
Imagine Dragons.
Do you like Imagine Dragons?
They're not terrible.
Okay, I won't disrespect them.
I mean, you can.
But
leave.
I feel like you can. I feel like you can tell my perspective by my tone
Oh,
of voice.
yeah, 100%.
You're their biggest fan.
I am their biggest fan.
And then it's just overall, it was a really enthralling story that I really enjoyed. And apparently it took them 6 years to make the first season. The second season should be coming out.
Is it like an indie TV show?
It's based on League of Legends, but
wait,
you
serious?
don't
Huh?
have to. It's League of Legends characters,
Yeah.
but
Oh, wait,
It's
it's an
like-
animation. You said, right?
yeah, it's
Okay.
animation.
Yeah, it's an
I-
animation, it's
I'm
not
pretty
live
sure
action.
it's an entirely original story rather
Yes.
than taken from like the lore of.
Yes.
Um,
I do
but
not
you
like
don't
League
need
of
to know
Legends.
anything about League of Legends
Yeah.
to watch it.
I-
I still haven't seen it. It's been on my watch list since it came out.
I do not like League of Legends at all. I have never played it, and it's just not my kind of game. But this was like, I'm so disappointed that there isn't a second season. I really got into it, and it's quite emotional as the story goes.
That's cool.
Um,
It's crazy though how long animations can take.
oh yeah,
Because I remember I didn't watch this movie, but I heard about this guy who released this animation called Mad God, and I think he worked on it for like 25 years.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's only like 81 minutes too. It's like,
insane.
I really want to see Mad God. So cool.
It looks trippy.
Yeah, that's what I watched this week. Ollie, what have you watched?
I haven't watched much. The one thing I've watched is I rewatched Invincible season 1 in preparation for season 2, which comes out this Saturday. As of recording, that will be the 4th of November. I am so excited for that. It's just such a good show. I mean, there's a fully completed comic series that it's based off, and I'm so tempted to read the whole thing, but I want to watch it first.
I agree.
So what I'm doing now, even though I just finished watching the show, I'm reading the comics up to the end point of season 1.
That's a good plan.
So even though I've literally just seen the plot, I want to see it again.
Is it releasing weekly?
Yes, it will be releasing weekly. So by the time this episode goes out, the first 4 episodes will be out.
It's gonna be so hard not to talk about the show every week.
But the second
do it.
half, so it's 8 episodes in season 2.
Uh-huh.
Episodes 1 to 4 come out in November,
Uh-huh.
and then episodes 5 to 8 don't come out till next year. There's a break
they're
What
in
month?
between.
January?
They're really
Don't
edging,
know yet.
They're really edging you there.
I hate when shows do that.
It's because of production reasons.
Oh, okay, fair
Um,
enough.
But at least what they've said, so season 1 came out in 2021,
Uh-huh.
and it's now the end of 2020. It came out, I think, March 2021. It is now the end of 2023. They've said there will never be a gap this big between seasons again. They are already very far through production for season 3. So I reckon, I don't know this for certain, but I reckon it's not unlikely that the second half of season 2 will come out start of next year, and season 3 will come out towards the end of next year.
Okay, I'll be okay with that.
But yeah, that's all I've watched recently because it's just so good. It's been on my mind. I've been so hyped for season 2. It's already debuted with 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
wow.
I'm
Means
keen.
nothing.
Yeah, I know. But it's still good. Like,
Yeah.
regardless of that, I'm still hyped for it because I would probably rate it 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So yeah, that's all I've been watching recently.
All right. Let's move on to actor in focus, I guess. So this is like director in focus, but an actor. And as we previously mentioned, this will be Tilda Swinton. So Ben is, as she is one of your favorite actors.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say the favorite. Why don't you tell us a bit about her?
Am I supposed to read her IMDb page?
I mean, you don't have to.
I know, I'll do it.
I'll just
No,
no,
no, do it.
too late. Just
The iconoclastic gifts of the highly striking and ferociously talented. Okay, he's scrolled past it. I'll have to make up the rest. She's cool because she's been making films for so long, and she always picks insanely interesting things. She's played men, or she's played like different genders. She's just insanely cool. She's played old people when she's not old. She's played, she's just, and
she has a range.
And she always, it's like some of my favorite directors, she's like made a movie with them, like these really she's she's been in some really big films, but she makes films with these quite niche directors. And I think that's just because of her love for filmmaking. But I don't know what I like about it. I think just, the diversity of her acting ability is pretty cool. If you watch like Orlando or something, and then you watch like, I don't know, what's some big movie she's
Narnia.
Narnia, yeah, like, I don't know, I haven't seen that, but, I'm assuming she's quite a different character.
Wow,
she's a very different character. I remember, obviously when I very first watched it, I was quite young, so I didn't know who Tilda Swinton was, but when I found out who she was and realized she was the Ice Witch in Narnia, I was like, oh, wow. And then I was talking to my friend about Tilda Swinton, I think because we were watching... She was in something recently. 3,000 Years of Longing.
That's a very interesting movie.
We went and watched that, and we were talking about Tilda Swinton, and I was like, yeah, she was in Narnia. And all my friends were like, what? And I was like, she's the villain in Narnia. Like, she's not hidden.
To be fair, if you look at some photos, it's very...
She's made up. I mean, she's got this big ice crown, and she's completely white. Yeah.
I will say she's quite terrifying. John Oliver finds her very scary. But if you look at, there's quite a few photos of her where she's like, it looks like she's always plotting something, plotting your downfall.
She looks like she could be a villain in Game of Thrones, but just in real life.
Yeah. But in reality, she has she's in a lot of things.
If you want to get the epitome of that, watch Only Lovers Left Alive. She's a vampire.
Oh my god, she plays a vampire.
Wow, she plays a vampire.
Excuse me. She's also in Doctor Strange as the Ancient One, and
I think she plays that well.
She does. She does really well.
I mean, it's obviously a blockbuster, and she's in a lot of I mean, I wouldn't call them indie movies because they still have big budgets, but they're not blockbusters.
But then she's also
big budget indie
she's
movies.
Like it's one of my favorite directors. This guy called Apichatpong Weerasethakul. That's definitely not how you pronounce his name.
I was gonna say
he's Thai.
Bless you.
And he's like when you watch something apparently here it says she's in the Avengers, and then she does a film like this. It's just like I don't know. It's such a weird. I don't know any other actors that
do both.
That do both.
Right.
Yeah, and I think she's even produces on these movies. Like she just loves, I'd say, that she just loves film.
Yeah, personally, you've spoken to her personally.
I have spoken to her personally.
I love film.
This is what I'm getting from
Ben,
her vibe.
I love film.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Ben.
I
like
Ben.
film.
This is
She's
basic.
Like, no way, me too.
I love her in
We
Grand
should be
Budapest Hotel so much. Like the old lady she plays that dies.
Spoilers, that is like. At first, I didn't see it, and
it's crazy once you recognize.
She looks so different. She's in quite a lot of Wes Anderson things though.
She's one of the regular.
She's one of that crowd.
Yeah,
who we've talked about a lot and shouldn't go into anymore.
I know
because it's
hard not to bring him up though with all this one.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we put a hiatus. Damn it.
We did, but
anyway,
and we did say whoever talked about Wes Anderson can't speak
for 5 minutes. Okay, so Jake's on silent mode.
How am I supposed to not bring?
Jake, what's your favorite Tilda Swinton movie?
Just write it down, and we'll text us, and we'll say what you want to say about it. Anyway,
Jake, don't listen to them. Say what you want. You're a free man.
What else is there?
Except
to
you
say?
spoke about Wes Anderson, so that's not allowed.
Don't let the controls of other.
Ben clearly hasn't listened to our most recent episodes.
I listened.
Actually, to be fair, this one's not out yet, so it's weird. Like the timing it's out because you guys listen to this in the future when all the episodes are already out, but Ben hasn't listened to it. So here we go.
Spike Jonze' adaptation is
Okay.
the favorite Tilda Swinton performance of Jake Lacey.
He is
I haven't seen
quietly
that
amused.
movie.
2023.
You should watch that movie. It's cool. I didn't like it that much, but it was very interesting.
I've written it down in a list of things to watch.
Yeah.
I've got a list just from this podcast.
Bro's got the timer
Um,
What about
she's
you, Cameron?
also me.
What's your favorite Tilda Swinton movie, or have you not watched many of the movies?
I mean, oh no, I've watched quite a few of hers. I will say she looks very similar to Elizabeth Debicki in some of her films. Which is fair enough. A lot of celebrities get mistaken for other celebrities quite often.
I mean, when you're being viewed that regularly.
Yeah, especially when you're in the limelight. I will say I think the French Dispatch is very good with her in it.
She's in The Kill. Oh, you said that already. You said that.
Jake said she's amazing in The Killer. Which is it's 2023.
Isn't she the villain in Snowpiercer?
Yes.
I haven't seen Snowpiercer.
Neither, but I just saw it.
It's
I'm
in
scrolling
my-
through her IMDb, I will admit.
She's also in Uncut Gems. So many things.
I've
So
also
many
watched a
things.
movie of hers where this is the whole movie. Is her.
She's also in.
She's in another movie that Jake likes.
Crazy.
Yeah. likes
She's
a lot
done
of
100
Okja.
movies.
She's done 100 movies, but she also has like. There's a movie I watched. I don't know. I think it goes for like 90 minutes, and it's her just riding a bike around the Berlin Wall. And I think she's like narrating it,
Wow.
but like most of it's just her riding a bike around the Berlin Wall.
Sounds exciting. What's it
And
called?
it kind of was. I don't know. What is it called? I kind of liked it for some weird reason.
She's in Vanilla Sky.
Is it that one? No, it's not that one. I don't. This is Jake. I don't know when she's in Uncut Gems. I don't remember her at all.
Can
Yeah,
I just read it in
she's-
Jake's tone of voice? I don't know when she's in Uncut Gems. I don't remember it at all.
I forgot the accent.
The one of Tilda Swinton
True, I
walking
did
around,
forget the
riding the
accent.
bike around
Also,
the Berlin Wall is called
apologies for
Cycling the
volume.
Frame.
Cycling the Frame.
Cycling the
Interesting.
Frame.
Wow.
But it only goes for 27 minutes. It doesn't go
Right,
for 90
okay. So it's,
minutes.
I mean, that
that would be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's listed in IMDb as something as Anne, Adelaide's auction manager.
It's about like a
The voice,
cameo or
just the
something.
voice in Uncut Gems.
Oh, okay.
Credit is just the voice.
We're blowing Jake's mind right now.
Yeah, Jake's going insane
That'll
that he
explode.
can't talk right now. Well, that's what you get for
Try to
mentioning it.
telepathically speak into the microphone. Give it a go.
Everybody's.
Jake loves Uncut Gems so much.
That's not really on topic. What else can we say
I think
about Tilda
what's
Swinton?
their other movie? Good Time. Good Time is better. He said it too. He agrees. Let's go, Jake.
Well, there is
The scene when that guy drinks the whole bottle of acid, that makes me want to kill myself.
She's
I
in the
probably shouldn't be able to
TV
see- she's-
shows in the TV show What We Do in the Shadows in one episode where she plays a character called Tilda.
Wow.
I don't know if she's playing
That's-
herself because I haven't seen the episode.
Surely Tilda's short for something.
Tilda Swinton or Matilda.
Matilda, that's true. She has one Oscar win. Oh wait, hang on.
Does she?
She has 171 nominations for
Wow.
awards,
Damn girl.
75 wins, and one of those was an Oscar. Which was
This
the
is Jake.
2008 film
She won
winner
Best Supporting Actress.
as the best
Michael Clayton.
best
Is that a
performance
movie?
by an actress in a supporting role. She also won Best Supporting Actress in Doctor Strange, Best Supporting Actress in
Jake, if you love. Oh, fuck, Jake.
2009
Jake, just
film
talk, please.
winner. Hang on, he's got 53 seconds. And she also was a nominee for Best Actress in The Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah, she did sort of carry that movie.
Yeah, she did.
Not that it's a bad movie. I really enjoy that movie, but she did carry it. And then Liam Neeson is just there voicing.
Oh
a
no, not
big
Liam
dark
Neeson.
lion.
Oh, not Liam Neeson.
Look, it's one of his better performances.
We've talked about him a
Oh,
fair
that
amount
man.
on this. Blacklight, not a good film, but it was cool to see Canberra in
Oh yeah, he made a movie in Canberra, didn't he?
Yeah,
He wasn't here.
he wasn't
No,
here.
He wasn't here.
Okay.
What did I say?
Liam
Liam
Neeson,
Neeson, amazing in Schindler's List.
Yeah. And then since then, he's only played taken roles.
Yeah.
He plays the same role in every movie.
Yeah, he's
Even
like,
in Star. No, he's
Isn't it
good in
like-
he's good in the Phantom Menace.
Isn't always like an angsty dad?
Yeah.
he's still very good.
I will find you. I will kill you.
Yeah.
We should watch Taken for a deep dive, even though we've all seen it.
Okay, Jake.
I haven't
I think
seen
you can
it
talk
just
now.
with protest. Yep, the timer's gone off.
We were just looking
Jake.
through Tilda
Thank
Swinton's
God.
thing.
That was bad podcast.
You said you
but
love
it was
David
fun.
Fincher. What do you think of Benjamin Button?
What?
The
Curious
movie.
Case
It's one of the only Finchers I haven't seen.
Oh, don't watch it already.
Yeah, I've heard it's not good, so I've kind of stayed away from it. I love
Okay.
Brad Pitt, but
Okay.
I'm not.
You're
I
a
love
bad
Kate
film
Blanchett.
Do you
fan.
love old wrinkly Brad Pitt?
I've seen that image, and I am a bad Pitt fan. I've seen that image, and it just doesn't feel like something Fincher. Like, I don't know why he made it.
It's a left turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's Tilda Swinton.
It's still
Yeah,
the
that
There
was
isn't-
our deep
there
dive
isn't
on
else
Tilda Swinton.
Much to
sort of.
talk about.
That was fun.
Look, none of us are acting experts.
No, that's
so,
true. Maybe we'll have to get in an acting coach
Yeah.
or something. We'll see.
And then
see.
we'll do this segment
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, we'll do
on
it
with
Tilda
Tilda
Swinton.
Swinton.
Yeah,
and
we
Ben
probably should have
can
done
come in.
director, but it is what it is. I'll just with acting, I just go you feel it or you don't. I don't really know the small nuances of it.
Yeah.
It's just like
But
yes,
she
no.
feels it in everything.
Yeah.
But there's
like
also
when I've directed actors, like I kind of know, but I know where I want them to be, so I kind of know where I can try it. It hasn't necessarily worked.
Plus,
but
when
it's
you're
down to-
directing them, you can just go, "Oh no, I didn't like that. Let's try it a different way."
Yeah.
And so
kind of.
you don't see that process when you're watching the final
Yeah,
product.
for sure.
No.
You just see the chosen
Yeah.
cut, a chosen shot. So I don't know. It's
That also
it's
depends
different
on
your approach to actors
where
as
you've
a director than
Yeah.
as a viewer. But yeah,
yeah.
it does depend on where you've come from.
There's also because you could be a classically trained theater actress or actor, which means you have certain mannerisms that you pick up in theater that are very obvious in film. Like with Kate Blanchett, when she does accents, there is, I forget what it's called, but there's a specific way
She's
she
Australian.
pronounces. She is.
Yeah, my mum met her.
That's so cool.
I was doing taekwondo, and she just sat down next to my mum because her son was also doing taekwondo.
Wow.
Wow, where was
And they
this?
This was in Sydney.
Oh, fair enough.
And
did
So
you
she'd
beat up
never
her
come
son?
to Canberra.
No, he was my brother's age, so my brother was.
Your brother was beating him up.
No, I don't think they interacted. But yeah, my mum knew who she was, but they just sat having a normal conversation about
Stuff.
kids.
Oh, fair
That's
enough.
funny.
Yeah,
Perhaps a better
so that's my
question
claim
than,
to fame.
than
with
favorite
Kate
actors,
Blanchett.
favorite performance.
That's true. Maybe we'll change
Because I
that.
feel like it's easier to pick a favorite performance from an actor than an actual favorite actor.
Yeah, that's fair.
like ever.
That's true. It depends.
You start then, Jack. What's your favorite performance ever?
He's
Oh,
already
we're
been,
still talking about
he's
Tilda
already
Swinton.
been interviewed.
Yeah.
So-
I didn't,
Well,
I didn't
was-
guess my favorite
Or do we-
performance ever.
we were
I'd have to
talking
think about
about
that.
different
Yeah,
styles of acting, but that's okay. Let's move on.
Naomi Watts in Mulholland Drive. That's the one that comes to mind.
Let's move on to pick your moment.
Is it-
First, we
is it-
just
is it
want to
the scene
quickly
in The
talk about the
Office?
upcoming
Oh,
releases.
yes.
Where
sorry.
she goes from like the weirdest, like
the
weirdest,
interview
like
scene.
most like B-level like acting to like this one scene where she's, and then that is very.
Hey Jay,
Wow.
what's a
Who is
movie
this?
you're looking
Sorry.
forward to?
It's David Lynch's Mulholland
coming
Drive.
out?
Naomi
Or is it-
Watts.
Oh,
All right.
coming in,
Also
yeah.
Australian.
Okay.
But like her acting is so bad, but like it's
Why
like
don't we
David
not do
Lynch
this
bad.
segment?
Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
bad. Like it's like
I mean,
it's
there's
like,
a couple things coming out that
It's like
I
Twin
wanna
Peaks where the acting
talk
like
about.
isn't good, but
Yeah.
it
Are you
makes
looking at the
sense.
Australian
Yeah.
releases or just the?
I'm just looking at releases in general.
So upcoming films that are releasing.
I'm waiting for the Zone of Interest. Just
The
saying.
I
Zone
can't
of
wait for
Interest.
that to come
When
out.
is that coming out?
I don't know.
November, end of November, maybe December in
I'll find it.
Australia.
We'll find it.
The
I've seen the-
Zone of
um,
Interest.
Yeah, Under the Skin was one of the coolest things I've seen.
I
that's come
really
out
need to see.
recently.
I really want to see that.
February
before.
22, 2024 is
Oh.
when it releases in Australia.
God damn.
Damn. All right, guess we're going to the US. Jay, you can hook us up.
I got you. Just to see Zone of Interest.
There's a couple things coming out close to the end of the year. There's the Marvels, which is
Coming out November 9.
yeah, which is I don't know how I feel about it.
I didn't know they still
The-
do Marvel movies.
What was
I thought they gave up.
well the TV show?
Do they
what
still make
was
money?
it?
Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel. I liked
no.
it.
I really liked it. I
was
loved it.
Unique.
The
It
first
was
episode was
really
so
unique.
cool, and then it just.
Oh.
anyway,
For me.
I loved it.
It was quite cool.
Is like their box office of the Marvel movies like dropping, or is it like still making a lot of
Mm,
money?
we talked
little
about
bit.
this.
They're not hitting
that's
a
what
billion.
that's
Talked
what's going to
about this
make them
before.
stop making them is that they don't make money.
yeah.
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 Which
But
they
now
used
they're
to do.
putting more effort in because of the strikes.
They used to make $1 billion
Like
on
they
the
have
regular.
to now.
Now they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's
Um,
like everyone just wants quality content.
Oh,
But yeah,
800 million,
Marvel,
that's-
Marvel movies are controversial, so we won't spend too long
No.
talking about that.
Manodrome, starring Jesse Eisenberg,
Haven't heard of that.
is it's rated R. Wow.
That's
It's
not even showing up in November or December
Oh, it must be for the US then.
for Australia.
It must be for the US. So it in the US it's coming out on November 10th.
What's it called? Manodrome.
Manodrome. Conflicted about his girlfriend's pregnancy, Ralphie's life spirals out of control when he meets a mysterious family of men. Strange. I think it'd be interesting to see Jesse Eisenberg in a different role because, like, his what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg. Why do I
Mark
forget his
Zuckerberg.
His Zuckerberg performance and his Lex Luthor performance are very similar. No, like in the. Okay,
It's
all right.
apparently not even coming out next year. in
What?
Australia.
This movie doesn't exist, Cameron.
Are you sure?
You're tripping.
It's already
it's-
got a 5.7 on IMDb.
Maybe it's already out in Australia.
Maybe it is.
That's interesting, Cam,
That's
what
weird.
you said about Zuckerberg
I feel
and
like-
Lex Luthor.
I can feel it, and
A little bit.
it's in Now You See Me 2. Now You See Me 2 as well, not the first one, the second one.
Yeah.
There's a little bit in the start of it. I think because I think he just came off Batman
Social.
v Superman.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But I'd be interested to see how he portrays this emotion.
I'm a
That'd be
big fan
really
of
cool.
his. He hasn't really made movies recently, unfortunately, but
Who is it that he gets constantly?
It's just
Andy
not
Samberg.
releasing in
Andy-
Australia.
No. I'm confused with not Andy Samberg.
that's
I forget.
who.
Jesse Eisenberg gets confused with.
That's what I thought.
No, it's somebody else. I don't know. We'll remember later.
If you want some more films, I can give some weird ones that are coming out, which I'm waiting for.
Okay.
There's one called Samsara.
He does get confused with Andy Samberg.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah.
Andy Samberg. Oh, idiot.
There's one called Samsara. There's one called Eureka. And there's another one. Oh, what's it called? About Dry Grasses, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've like played in like the festivals recently, and I don't know. I hope they come to Australia. There's a lot of films that don't come to cinemas in Australia
It's
because
really annoying.
they all go to Europe and the UK and the America, but Australia kind of gets left out. in
Nobody
that
cares
aspect.
about us.
Yeah.
Um,
But they're by all very interesting directors, and I
Yeah,
hope
cool. Definitely
they are
keep an eye
cool.
out for those.
Yes.
There's also sorry, Jake, just a couple more things. Hunger Game, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Napoleon with
So excited for Napoleon.
Joaquin Phoenix. I am mixed about it.
Is it going to be like
I have very little
Is it
interest
going to be
in that.
like, what is it? What's Gladiator? It looks like
Yeah,
it looks like
It is by Ridley Scott.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
why. And but like it gives the same vibe.
But I don't.
I hope
I
so.
don't know. I feel like it won't
No, I don't think it will
because it's
either.
Napoleon.
From the trailer.
Yeah.
He's
I
a
haven't
lot
got
more
that.
controversial than a fictional. Like that was fictional, based on real people, but it was fictional. Whereas this is like heavily based
Napoleon's
on
like the
real
most
people.
one of the most controversial people ever,
Rulers.
isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm a bit mixed
It'll
on
be
Ridley
interesting to see what he
Scott.
does with
His great movies are amazing. He has some stinkers, but I love Joaquin Phoenix so much.
I hate Joaquin Phoenix so much that I love him.
That's a good answer.
Like I always
good way to
when he's
put it.
acting, I
Yeah.
always like grimace. But like
Yeah.
it's like he
It's very
he makes
effect-
me feel
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm supposed to.
There's also Godzilla -1 and
Oh,
an Apple TV
looks
original.
awesome.
I'm excited for it. I like what
I
Apple's
love
been doing.
the legendary Godzilla movies.
Why do you call it an
They're a-
Apple movie? Apple was it made by Apple?
Yeah, it's like Killers of the Flower Moon. They're
So releasing in cinemas, but also sponsored.
yeah.
Oh, so it's
By
like a
Apple.
so it's like a
Also
Netflix movie, but
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's like produced by
gotcha.
Apple. Or
Yeah.
So like when
distributed
you say an
by them.
A24 film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the same.
yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's
okay.
the exact same.
What else is coming out is Uproar, which probably you guys don't know anything about. It's Rhys Darby, Julian Dennison.
Oh, okay.
It's completely different vibe to Napoleon or to Godzilla. It's just like wholesome movie about a kid who wants to get into acting. But
Oh, that's good.
it's Julian Dennison, and it's going to be really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Film Society is going to get free tickets to it. So
Ooh.
we
So
can,
keep an
we
eye
can
out for
hand
that.
those out.
We will. I think we'll make a competition. We can make it one of the prizes for the
Battle
film
to the death.
festival. Maybe
We can do that.
with like a
Yes.
light poll or something.
Wonka is
Yeah,
coming out.
Wonka. The trailer for that was interesting.
I
Yeah.
hated every second of it.
Hugh Grant. I think
That's the
I think it's
funniest
gonna
thing.
be. I think it's gonna be the best part.
directing?
Paul King, Paddington movies.
That's the guy directing it.
Yeah.
Those movies were actually alright. I
Yeah,
like
I
the
love
first
the
one.
Paddington
Is it
movies.
live action?
Have you
Yeah.
seen
Yeah,
the scene in Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent? What's your favorite movie? Paddington 2. Love
I really want to watch
Pascal.
that movie. I still
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
I
If you wanna
saw
watch
the
the
start of
most-
it on a plane, and I stopped watching it because I was cringing. Because like Nick Cage sort of walks himself into all these awkward situations right at the start of the movie.
Goodness.
Nick Cage
And
is
I hate-
Jesus.
I
He
hate
is Jesus.
like awkwardness in
Yeah,
a
right.
movie.
Mm.
It makes me feel uncomfortable.
If you want to watch the most Nick Cage movie ever, watch Mandy.
I really want to watch that movie.
It is
that
the
movie's
most
been
Nick
high on
Cage.
my
It's like Nick Cage
watch list.
personified to the maximum extent, and
Well,
it's
it
beautiful.
just looks like an awesome movie.
It is beautiful. I
And
wanna make
then
love to
the
that
last
man.
movie I want to talk about, which is coming out soon. I'm skipping a bunch of ones that are actually going to be interesting, but the next Taika Waititi movie, Next Goal Wins, comes out on the 1st of January.
I only just saw a
2024.
trailer of that one before I saw the Eras Tour.
Yeah.
And the trailer was good.
Yeah,
I'm a
it
big
looks
fan.
fun.
I'm a big fan
It-
of Michael Fassbender.
It's like it's
Yeah.
it's lower stakes. It's in the vein of Hunt for the Wilder People, I'd say, than anything else he's done. Like reasonably low stakes comedy, but with heart.
This is a bit of movie news, but did you see that he's not going to direct Thor 5?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it
I'm happy.
for multiple reasons.
Fair enough.
Can I list 2 movies that are
Wait,
coming
they're
out?
Oh, I
up to
was
Thor
gonna say-
5?
I want to
Yeah.
say
Wow.
2 movies. Hang on.
I'm sorry, I know you said last movie, but I'm really excited for Leave the World Behind, which is the new Sam Esmail movie starring Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali, Ethan Hawke. Sam Esmail is the creator of Mr. Robot. And Maestro, Bradley Cooper's Maestro. Those are 2.
Final 2 for me. Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom. Apparently in December 22nd again. This is the US. I'd be keen to
Here
see
it's
how
coming
this.
out
I think it'd be like
December 26th.
December. Okay, so close. So it'd be like the Boxing Day movie.
Yeah.
I'd be keen to see how this plays out with Amber Heard.
Mm.
And that whole thing. And then
I thought
finally,
she got like blacklisted.
I don't know.
She's
I
still
think,
in
Obviously
it,
I think
so-
it must have been a contract thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And then finally, Ferrari with Adam Driver.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm keen. That's a biopic that I'm down to see. Ford versus Ferrari is amazing. I love motorsport stories and just stories about cars. Top Gear, awesome. Yeah, like
simple
I really
man
like
with
Top
simple
Gear.
pleasures.
Hey,
Top Gear's
that's what
funny.
I grew up. I grew up with my dad sitting on the couch watching Top Gear, and
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'd be lying in my bedroom at
We
night
watched-
listening to that.
Me and my
that
dad watch
iconic
Mythbusters.
theme song. Oh
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Mythbusters is awesome.
I was so sad when one of the people died recently. Made me so nostalgic.
Grant Imahara.
Yeah.
Speaking of celebrity deaths, quite a shock one. Matthew Perry, from who played Chandler on Friends, was found dead by his pool, or in his pool.
Spa.
Spa from a suspected cardiac arrest. We still don't know. I think it was.
I thought suicide,
It
but
was
then
Monday
someone
this week.
said, "How would he drown himself in a bathtub?" And I was like, "I don't know.
What's not a bar?
How could you do that?"
If you ever look at his pool, it's huge. Like
Yeah.
and the spa
But how can you
part's quite
access? I
big.
guess unless he was like off his face on drugs.
Who knows?
Mm.
But yeah, that's very sad. I'm sure
It's
the
Crazy.
rest of
crazy
the Friends
stuff.
class. Would
I was
be-
never a big Friends fan,
I've
but
never
he was
watched
I've never
certainly
seen Friends,
always
but-
my favorite part of it when I watched it.
just the Chandler and Joey antics were
Certainly the best part.
But what
So-
Matthew Perry himself said not that long ago was that when he dies, which whether he knew that was going to be soon or not, he doesn't want to be remembered for Friends or for the things he did, but for his approach to life. And he had this whole statement. I'll see if I can find it.
but about just I think it was about loving yourself and just
Yeah.
be true to
He
yourself.
said he wants to be remembered for helping people rather than for his work on Friends. Because he he himself struggled with alcoholism for a lot of his life, and he helped lots of people get sober through that, through his personal experience. So he said he wanted to be remembered for that rather than for friends, which
Valid.
fair enough.
A lot of celebrities have come out and said he really helped me through my own struggles, and I can't remember who, but I was watching a video of a celebrity talking about it, and I don't know. It was a celebrity I care about a lot, so it was like, I don't know. Even though I wasn't like a huge Matthew Perry fan, it made me feel even more connected to him somehow.
Yeah.
Also,
well, rest in peace to Matthew Perry.
Rest in peace, Matthew Perry.
Well, let's take a quick break. We'll be back in a second. Just to finish off movie news before we cut to that break, Jake, I think, wanted to talk about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
I didn't want to talk about it, but it is news.
Oh.
You're the one who wrote it down.
It made a lot of money at the box office. It outgrossed the Mario movie, which is one of the highest grossing films of the year.
Video game movies as well. It is now the highest grossing video game movie.
It outgrossed the new Martin Scorsese film.
It did.
Which I want to stab myself while
Jake,
I said that.
It's 3.5 hours long.
I never expected
the general
Killers of the
audience.
No,
Flower.
I didn't expect that. I
You
didn't.
know, theaters. There's a whole thing now about theaters wanting to put intermissions in it,
Yeah,
and
dumb.
Scorsese says no because
Good.
that's not how it was meant for.
If it's
But
not intended,
it's such a long movie.
yeah. But if it's the
Cam didn't finish it.
I didn't.
if the intermission's not intended, then don't put it in. Just ruining the vision.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
But I'm not surprised, and also
I'm not surprised either.
don't
but it just hurts.
really care that FNAF made more money than Scorsese's movie, because that's not the nature of Scorsese's movies.
Yeah, it's not,
you don't watch
doesn't
them
matter.
because they're like money-making movies. They're meant to be
They don't appeal
a
to the
unique
widest
experience.
audience.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the last bit of movie news, because we
Well,
don't want to talk about FNAF anymore.
Big up Five Nights at Freddy's then, you know.
Yeah, go
Good
Five
on
Nights
them
at
for
Freddy's.
making money.
Yeah,
And
good on that
stuff.
team there.
It's just sad because it means they're gonna make another, and another, and another,
Yeah, but
and another.
that doesn't impact us in any way. It only impacts the people who care about Five Nights at Freddy's. So let's move on and let's play Pick Your Moment.
Yes. Which
This-
we should have done.
This episode is releasing on the 28th of November, I believe, which is very close to December, which is the month of Christmas.
Month of
Die
Jesus.
Hard.
And Die Hard.
And Eyes Wide Shut.
We have had...
It is a Christmas movie.
Well, it's because it's funny because Bruce Willis came out and said Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. Stop
He's wrong.
calling it, and everyone was like, "No, it's a Christmas movie." So
Also,
you know.
he's just the actor in it. He
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
get to say.
He doesn't.
Um,
Say, shut up.
anyway.
It's like
He only
creators-
made it.
The creators
Doesn't
of
matter.
like you can't stack plus twos. All right.
You don't play the game. We play the game. But Christmas trees decorations have been out for a while now, particularly by the time of release of this episode. So we thought we'd start off the discussions of Christmas movies. And for Pick Your Moment this week, we are going to do Home Alone. So, great
We should have done
classic
Eyes
Christmas
Wide
movie.
Shut if we knew that was a Christmas movie.
These
We
two
haven't
have not
seen
even
it.
seen a Stanley
Uh,
Kubrick film. So
Yeah, well, that's our fault.
I tried to get them to
Educate
watch The
yourself,
Shining
boys.
for Halloween, and they just didn't do it.
We will. We'll watch it eventually.
We'll watch it for next year's Halloween. All right,
Yeah, sure.
if Ollie's still here. So just a quick rundown on Pick Your Moment. If you don't know, you get one
Which Ben
handful.
doesn't.
Which Ben doesn't.
Ben doesn't know.
Ben does not know.
I'm assuming we're picking a moment from Home Alone.
Yeah. So
Maybe.
you're in the theater.
Smart.
You have one handful of popcorn, and there's one moment in the film that you can eat it to accentuate
So
that moment. Which
it doesn't
moment are you
have to
choosing?
be like the most exciting moment. It could be the most intense moment. It could be the most fun moment where you just want to eat some popcorn. And in this fictional scenario, the popcorn is always perfect.
And the
so you
ads-
don't have to worry about it getting stale by the end, which Cam tried
Which I
to
did try and
talk about.
talk about.
So some
And the
juicy
ads
popcorn.
don't count. I mean, actually, you could say it during the
ads.
ads, but during the
No, you're not
commercials-
allowed to say
No,
you
you can't
watch
say-
you eat all your
The
popcorn
Dune
during
2
the ads.
trailer before me. I'm just like,
or in
It's not gonna win.
the Sears workwear ad beforehand. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Barrier Street Fish Week. Popcorn.
Okay, so we know how it works now. Who wants to go first? Does anyone already have a moment?
I
'Cause
do.
I do too. So
Yeah.
do you want to go first then?
You go.
Yeah. I haven't seen a Home Alone since I was like a little kid. It was never a really big movie for me.
It's my favorite Christmas movie.
It's not my favorite Christmas movie.
I haven't watched a lot of Christmas movies.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah.
But like, does that count?
Shut up, Jake. What's
Then
your
Die
favorite
Hard.
actual
Just-
Die Hard? Yeah, that's fair.
Die Hard.
But I was helping my friend with the sound design assignment recently, and he did Home Alone for like his project, recreating a soundtrack. And he did the scene when Pesci and the other guy, Harry and Marv, come into the house, and he dropped the paint cans down the stairs. And I rewatched that scene because I hadn't seen it in a while, and I do really love that scene. And I'm not saying that because that's the only scene I can think of, but yeah,
It's
that's
definitely the only scene you can think of.
no.
That scene is amazing.
I remember
Jake.
in
Good pick.
in the park. In the park. There's a park scene.
That
That's my
scene is
favorite
really
scene.
good, and the callback to it in Home Alone 2 is even better.
I remember Donald Trump shows up in Home Alone 2. Yeah.
That was the worst part of the film by far.
Home Alone 2 is
Objectively.
fun.
Just view it ironically. It's okay.
Full stop.
Ironically.
Don't need to say any more
Donald
than
Trump.
that.
I mean, to be fair,
Perhaps
no one
I will
else was
rewatch
helping
them
Kevin in the lobby.
How
This
can you
Christmas
how can
time,
you view
and I'll
Donald
have
Trump
some
not
of my
ironically?
thoughts.
Otherwise, you just get sad.
Anytime I see Donald Trump now, it is
always
very
funny. I
ironic.
know.
It's just silly situations.
Yeah.
To be fair,
He's
no
gonna
one
get-
else in
I
the
reckon he's
lobby
gonna
was
get real
looking to
elected
help
too.
Kevin.
True.
Probably.
So
That is my favorite scene though. When he
Points
when he
to-
goes to the supermarket and buys the stuff and then walks home. That's my favorite scene.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So that's when you're. Is that when you're eating the popcorn though?
It's not a very popcorn moment, but
No.
I just think it's funny because he's this little kid shopping.
So what's your popcorn moment then? Are you gonna say that, or are you gonna say something else?
I'm gonna say that. It's fine. But like,
Because
you
it's
know,
entertaining. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna
It's a fun scene.
toss my
yeah,
popcorn.
exactly.
Yeah. Do you have yours?
Oh, and the
Cam?
starting like the opening scene is good too. And
The
like all
opening
the
is
people in the
good.
house, like it's really chaotic.
I feel like if that
Does show
opening was
well.
made now, it would be entirely one take. Like it would be a long.
If you're not tour
single
made
take.
Home Alone, yeah.
Yeah.
oh my god.
PTA would do that.
Immersive.
PTA's Home Alone would
Immersive
be my
3D.
favorite movie ever.
Ollie, what's your
My favorite moment, well, not my favorite moment, my popcorn moment is when Kevin leaves the house when Harry and Marv are in there by zip lining across to the tree house. I just think that is like Home Alone is far-fetched, right?
yeah?
Mhm.
But most of the things that happen in it theoretically could happen, like as in probably not done by a little kid,
Mm.
but you
It's
could make
very-
those traps.
It's very
Yeah.
Indiana Jones esque.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Very
Like,
slapstick.
yeah, very slapstick. Like, okay, this is dumb. He
Yeah.
probably should have died there.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
not so far
It
out
does.
out of left field there.
It's
that
like-
you're like, how the
It's like you could make those traps and they could work the way they work in the movie. Would they probably kill the guy instead of just like making him slightly annoyed? Yeah. But then there's this like he zip lines across to the treehouse and I'm like, I always as a kid I always would have wanted that
Right.
myself. It's like it's just perfect. Like it encapsulates everything in
that
the
movie's
movie,
a little
and it's
bit
so
of like
fun
a
to watch.
kid's fantasy.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is.
I
It's
But it's
pinnacle
remember
of it.
when
so
we were
fun.
What?
It's the pinnacle.
I
of
remember
kids.
like
Yeah, right.
back in my childhood, we were about to get a deck for our house, like get a deck done off the veranda, and we were like, okay, what do we want here? How are we gonna do this? How do we want to design it? And most of the me and my sisters were like, okay, how are we gonna get down to the trampoline the quickest way? What if we had a slide straight into the trampoline? Wait, no. Even better, if we hook up a zip line that goes over the top of it, then we can fall off and jump, and it'd be so because we had just watched Home Alone.
We actually did have a zip line in our backyard when I was younger.
Home Alone. Is that from Home Alone? Or it's just zip
Your
line?
parents
No,
just
I
loved
think
it
we
that
just-
much.
No, we had a pretty big backyard, and at the back of the backyard we had a cubby house, like
Yeah.
standalone. Like it wasn't attached to a tree or anything, but it was essentially a tree house,
Mm.
but a cubby house. And the backyard slopes down, and so at the highest point of the backyard, we had some
A zip line.
set up to you could hop on it, and then you could zip line down, and we definitely put the trampoline underneath it at one point and dropped onto it.
That's actually sick.
It was awesome, but I had completely forgotten about that until you just said that then.
Well, there we go.
Hell
Wow.
yeah. Now I want that back. When I make my own house in the future, when I'm obviously rich and can do whatever I want,
When you're the
there's
best,
going to be a zip line.
the
in
most
backyard.
famous screenwriter.
Yeah.
It's like that scene in Social
Frozen
Network
Never
when they're
Industry.
ziplining off the roof and then the chimney caves in. That's gonna be my
Yeah,
house.
but it would be purposefully designed into the architectural plans of
For the chimney to
property.
be collapsible.
No.
You hire an architect, they
That's
build
gonna
an
be my
amazing,
house.
amazing
Well,
house. It's like
one
it's
of-
missing one thing: a
Yeah.
zip line.
One of my best
Put it in
friends
there, big
is
dog.
studying
That's a line in a
architecture.
movie, surely.
So he's going
That's
to
a
do
You're
that.
missing one thing: a zip line.
That's got to be so. I've heard that in a movie somewhere. It's like, what do you like about this? Oh, it's good. I like it. I like most things. You know what it needs though? Zipline.
Probably.
It's somewhere.
Seems like a cinematic moment.
Or-
Anyway, that was Ollie's moment. Finally, my moment. I'll say, it's near the beginning of the film when the family's at the airport, and they're passing passports, and they're passing it down the line. And it's pass it to Kevin. Pass it to Kevin. Pass it to Kevin. Kevin's not here. Kevin's not here. And they go back to the mum, and then mum goes, Kevin's not here. Oh shit! And then Kevin wakes up in the house and eating popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's so funny. Like, we know that the kids didn't really like Kevin, but you would still react like, what? He's not here?
Yeah.
Like, in real life. But there's very little that's real about this film. It's just like a hyperbolic film is what it is.
Yeah.
Everything is pushed to the extreme, and like reactions and situations that could but wouldn't happen.
Oh, exactly.
But it's so fun. I love that movie.
Let's do some Film Society stuff real quick. UC Film Festival, it's coming up. We're about to make an announcement about it. 8th of December, here at uni in 2B9, I think it is. Same lecture theatre we held the...
We should have said this at the start of the episode, not the end.
Probably should have.
No, what? You leave it in the listeners' memories.
Yeah, but like,
If
what happens
people
if someone
click off.
doesn't get through the whole episode?
Anyway,
We said it at near the start too.
Also
So,
said-
So
Okay.
the
Anyway,
UC
yeah.
Film Festival has been opened. Submissions are available until the end of November. If you're a member of the UC Film Society, you can submit for free. Otherwise, it's $15 entry fee per category.
Just quietly, it's $10 for a Film Society membership.
And you can submit to every category, and it's always free. And we'll be doing a screening before we do any voting on what films are winning. So if you want your film to be screened at all, just submit it, and then judging will happen after the screening. But the screening will be on the 8th of December, and we will all get to watch a whole bunch of films.
Yeah.
But that's the main Film Society stuff, and we are going to play a game of Quick Pitch.
I'm going to head off.
Goodbye,
Thank you,
Cameron.
guys. I've got places to be. That's a wrap for me. Good luck.
Good
See
luck
ya.
out there, soldier.
See ya.
Okay, so we've got a bit of a rundown for who's going to do what. So the way Quick Pitch works, we as a collective pick an actor, director, and genre, and we have to make a movie and come up with a title
Okay.
out of those things. And we've got it written down. I'm going to pick the director, Ben, you're going to pick the actor, and Jake's going to pick the genre.
sounds good.
So who wants to go first? Do you have a genre or an actor in mind?
I've got a genre.
Yep.
Science fiction.
Science fiction. Okay.
You go, director.
Director, I want to say we like to do either someone who has only done that genre, like really play hard into their skill set, or go someone who has never touched it in their life. I think it would be fun. We've done a science fiction before, but it wasn't solely science fiction. So I think what we're going to do is find someone who's not done science fiction before.
Yeah, it's good.
How about... I always hate thinking of directors. Have we done Paul Thomas Anderson as a director?
No,
Let's do... He's not done a sci-fi, right?
I wish.
No.
Let's do Paul Thomas
I don't
Anderson.
wish, but yes, let's
Let's
do him.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yes.
Okay, a science fiction film. What's the science fiction aspect of it? You know,
Is it in space, or is it just like...
or is it like
No,
just,
it
is it
would-
just
it
like
shouldn't be in space.
Is it just like logic is out the window kind of thing?
And it's futuristic.
I think it should just be set in like a regular suburbia, but it's futuristic, and there's a science fiction element
Yeah, okay.
that I don't know yet.
And so, well, let's bring back what's his name? I'm just thinking of Blue Velvet, because to me that's
Kyle MacLachlan.
Kyle MacLachlan.
It's great stuff.
I know he's old now.
Yeah,
He's not a naive young man.
could work. He could play like the dad
Yeah.
of this family, because every PTA story is like a family story or at its heart, or like a story about a relationship.
But I've never seen Kyle MacLachlan not in a David Lynch movie.
I can't say I have either.
So
I saw him in
that's
Inside
a
Out.
bad
His
thing.
voice.
Yeah. We could just say Tilda Swinton because she
Nah, I
He's the
think we've had
boss.
enough Tilda
Yeah.
Swinton for today.
never enough. Kyle MacLachlan.
Oh, we haven't
Or
heard
so-
about
oh, someone.
MacLachlan?
What about Tom Cruise?
Someone. Okay.
Do we have to?
No.
Once again, don't sue us, Tom Cruise. I'd be happy to do Kyle MacLachlan, except I have no idea who he is. Like, I wrote a picture of him here. I think I've seen him before, but I can't.
I think he's only in David Lynch movies.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I just
And
think-
like I,
just
said,
thought of-
the voice in Inside Out.
I just thought of Surreal Suburbia, and that was what I
What
thought
about
of.
like Matthew Broderick or something?
Who's that?
He's
Ferris
Ferris
Bueller's Day.
Bueller.
Oh, okay. Does he still act?
Yes.
Yes.
He was in Only
Michael
Murders
J.
in the Building.
Fox.
Or Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox.
As the dad though.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll have
And then like his son is like Marty McFly, but
yeah,
he's
okay.
not.
So we could have the actor we pick is Michael J. Fox, but then like the main character is an unknown
Yeah, I like that.
or like a small
Yeah.
up to this point relatively unknown
Brad Pitt.
actor. Yeah, Brad. Never heard. Who's that? I never heard of him.
Who?
But yeah, I reckon we can do that.
Sounds good.
So what's the plot? You said you want it to be suburbia.
Yeah.
So it's in the future. It's
Uh-huh.
science fiction-y,
Yeah.
but it is just like a suburban story.
Yeah, it has to be in like a future LA, San Fernando Valley, because that's where all of PTA's movies are set. Not all, but most. And has to be a family story. And I don't know what
Well, what if
driving
it's
plot
about?
is.
What if the job is the science fiction thing? Like, what if his dad's trying to get him to, like, take over the business,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, that's good.
He wants to be like an
Yeah.
adventurer or something.
Right.
But-
he wants to.
But because he's too poor, he actually can't go and do the adventure.
yeah.
So we don't have to worry about showing some like intergalactic adventure or
Right.
even like just
Or
a
it's like
cross-planet adventure.
his parents are oppressive and they won't let him leave the house. He's
yeah.
trapped and he just wants to go on an adventure.
This kid's
But
like
he won't be
obsessed with the
allowed.
past, obsessed with the 80s, 90s, or whatever.
He's
Yeah.
obsessed with Paul Thomas Anderson
movies.
films.
He wants to go to the
That'd-
Boogie's
that'd be
Nights set.
funny.
He wants to go
Yeah.
to
See
Boogie
Mark
Nights.
Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Berg's
Well, he's
penis.
real. Yeah. But yeah, I like that. The job is the
Yeah, so
element. That's good.
his dad, Michael J. Fox, is trying to get him to take over the business. He's like 17, so he's not going to take over yet, but his dad's trying to train him
Right.
to take over. But he just wants to do his own thing. So it's like classic story,
Mhm.
except the twist is it's like he wants to be an adventurer, which is not the twist, but he can't. Like, even if his dad didn't want to let him do it, he still can't because he's too poor. He doesn't have the means.
Does the
Like,
son
there's
like
no way
know
he could
this?
do it.
Does the son realize this?
No, not yet.
Okay, yeah.
But he's going to go out into the world,
Mm-hmm.
try, fail,
Mm-hmm.
come back,
This seems very
join his
nihilistic.
dad, join his dad, and then realize that he can actually play his dad by taking over the company and using that to be an adventurer.
Wow.
What's the company? Law for Space.
So he just changes law.
Alien lawyer.
He can do what he wants.
But he
Alien
can just
law.
go and do whatever he wants. Because he can travel the galaxy doing law, and then in between he can just adventure.
Oh my god, what a character!
And then it turns
This
into
sounds
a
really
road
r-
movie.
Yeah.
How long is this film?
Intergalactic road trip. It's actually 7 hours.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. I'd be there day one.
Oh yeah, of course you would. There's an intentional intermission though.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you intend
No,
to.
there's an unintentional.
No, that's going to
intermission.
disrupt the
gonna-
flow of the film. We
Yeah.
can't be having that.
Yeah.
One sitting or
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What are we calling it? High rise.
Why is it called High Rise?
He's got to rise to the occasion.
All of
He's got to
PTA
rise
all of-
into space. He's got to rise up the giant skyscraper, a sci-fi skyscraper that his dad works in the penthouse of.
Since 2012, all of PTA's movies have been two-word titles:
Okay.
The Master,
Boogie
Inherent
Nights.
Vice,
That's before 2012. but-
Phantom Thread, Licorice Pizza.
Oh, I didn't realize that was Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but I heard a lot about it when it came out.
It's a great movie.
I haven't heard any other suggestions than High Rise. So
yeah, I'm thinking.
High rise. So high.
H-I Rise, like hi-fi.
But is it 2 words? Like.
Yeah, it's 2 words.
Yeah, then I like it.
I'm writing it down.
He could live in a high rise in LA.
So
But that's
it's
not really suburbia.
Looking for
PTA
Jesus.
with
Searching for Jesus.
Michael J. Fox and unknown younger
Yeah.
actor as protagonist.
Whenever we make this film, whenever PTA makes this film, he's just gonna have to find the next youngest actor and be like, "Come on."
get your dick
Come on.
out.
No, he won't be showing his
No,
dick.
that's not
his
happening.
prosthetic dick. Like
Was
Um,
that wasn't his real cock?
no,
Oh,
But
disappointing.
in my mind,
I think
Disappointing.
it's Dirk Diggler's cock.
this film,
Israel, man.
I feel like PTA would make it with major tweaking.
for sure.
Like
He'd make it
obviously-
really, really, really eccentric.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like we don't have a fully functioning plot.
I wish I had his brain. I can't make it eccentric like he would.
I feel like eccentricity is not my style of writing.
It's a
It's-
little
your
bit
style of
in
writing?
mine.
I don't know.
I try
But
to put
not that.
I try to put a little bit in my writing.
it's
but
fun to have a
it's
bit.
Not.
I like
It's
I
not
do
easy
like
for me
some
to do.
sort of like absurdist
Uh-huh.
comedy.
Yeah.
But that's
you
more
have
like
to watch David
in-
Lynch then.
not that
disrespectful.
absurdist. I mean like just like not fitting with what's going on.
Yeah,
I think-
Absurd to the current events.
I think you'd absolutely hate David Lynch.
Oh no.
Yeah. Which
That's
is
so
Anyway,
sad.
That's
That's unfortunate.
That's been our quick pitch. We've got a movie, and I think PTA. I could see him making it after heavy revisions.
for sure.
Does he have any new films on the?
He's
horizon?
making a film with Leonardo DiCaprio, Joaquin Phoenix, Regina Hall,
Oh wow!
and others currently,
Dude,
which
bro's
is
got all the
my most
names.
anticipated film like ever. He's
Yeah.
ever worked with Leo, and he tried
That's
to cast him in
crazy.
Boogie Nights as Dirk Diggler, but Leo chose to do Titanic.
But he suggested Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yeah,
And now Mark Wahlberg hates that.
yeah,
Hates the movie.
yeah. He hates.
Boogie Nights. He
Boogie
hates
Nights because
being
it's-
What the
known for
one
Boogie
like
Nights.
probably good performance he's done.
He's been in two. He's been in 2 good movies. That one and The Departed.
Yeah. Okay.
What about? Have you seen The Italian Job?
No.
He's in that. I don't know what you'd think of his performance, but it's
Yeah.
not as typical a Mark Wahlberg
Sure.
performance.
Yeah, that's good then.
But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. So thanks for joining us today. Keep an eye out for, don't keep an eye out, actually submit your stuff to the UC Film Festival.
And come along.
Come along. By
Mhm.
the time this episode goes out, there will have been announcements on social media. So if you need to know where to go, just go to our Instagram, UC Film Society on Instagram. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thanks for joining us, Ben.
Thanks for having me.
That's a wrap.
See you.
Ciao.